Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss the 2007 action-adventure thriller horror film Ghost Rider, starring Nicolas Cage as Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider himself. Eva Mendes plays Roxanne, Wes Bentley plays Blackheart, Peter Fonda plays Mephisto. You have Sam Elliott as Carter Slade. You have Rebel Wilson as Girl in the Alley. This was her first American film. Did not know that until I watched this as we're doing our multiverse Marvel marathon. And I'm listening to her voice and I'm like, why does this voice sound familiar? And then I stare at the girl on the screen and I'm like, is that Rebel Wilson? And then I'm listening and I'm seeing her mannerisms and she's going like this. And I was like, holy crap, that is Rebel Wilson, without a doubt, with her American accent. And I looked it up and she did like a few other things in Australia prior to then doing stuff in the States. And this was her first American project. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is so cool. It's really cool when you're a fan of someone's work for so many decades and you can pick up on their little hints and motions and the way they speak and their mannerisms and stuff like that. It's neat, especially if they're using a different accent. So Mephisto and Blackheart are father and son in this particular story. Some stories of Mephisto is he's the devil. Sometimes he's just a head demon. Sometimes Blackheart is just created by Mephisto, not specifically his son specific, but it depends. In this particular version, Mephisto is the father of Blackheart, but Mephisto is portrayed as the devil. You make a deal with the devil. So Mephisto has his contracts and, he has his ghost riders who are his bounty hunters, basically, to collect the souls or do his bidding, whatever. And Ghost Rider at the time refused to hand over a contract of 200 souls for this San, whatever the town was, and kept it for himself. That way, and it was hidden, that way Blackheart couldn't get a hold of it, kind of a thing. Blackheart's quest for himself and his demon friends is to obtain the contract for the 200 souls. That way, it's the gateway to bring hell on earth, essentially. So 150 years go by after Carter Slade is no longer the Ghost Rider, and Johnny Blaze inadvertently makes a deal with the devil to bid his father's cancer a farewell, not knowing that his father would then die in a motorcycle accident the day after, because they're stuntmen, they ride bikes, stuff like that. And so the father and son duo is now just a solo act. Johnny Blaze is now just Johnny Blaze. His girlfriend Roxanne is moving away. He can't deal with it. He can't deal with his father's death, not knowing how he did in fact sell his soul to the devil. And then we're going to flash forward. Nicolas Cage is older Johnny Blaze. Eva Mendes is older Roxanne, whose paths eventually do cross again. It's his time now to collect his bounty because Blackheart's now officially on a quest to get this contract to bring hell on earth. And Mephisto can't have that. How dare his son do these things against his will, things of that nature. So it's a matter then of how does Johnny Blaze, aka Ghost Rider, defeat the bad guys of this particular Texas city that they are riding around, and what happens with Carter Slade coming back, or was he even gone in the first place, played by Sam Elliott. Wes Bentley does a great job with Blackheart, I gotta say that. But it's neat having two different Ghost Riders. You have Phantom Rider, Ghost Rider 1, and Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze's character, riding side by side, one on a horse and one on a bike, going down the path with the fire behind them. It was really cool. It was really poetic. It was a nice little passing of the torch kind of a thing, if you will, no pun intended. But it's a fun, fast story, but it has a lot of good horror to it. It has a lot of good screams and scary faces and stuff of all these demon characters. You have Wes Bentley's Blackheart along with his gang of misfit demon elemental creatures, causing chaos, killing souls one after the other. It's neat. It's a good scary film. It's a good spooky film. It's a good film to watch in October. Johnny Blaze is a good character of Ghost Rider, and Nicolas Cage does a great job doing it. So the fact that at the end where he tricks Blackheart into taking the contract, taking in the 200 souls, therefore he can do his penance stare and make the souls repent kind of a thing and then fade away. It was a neat little mind trick. It's also a great stand-up moment of the devil saying, all right, you did your deed, we're done. You're going to give me the contract back. I'm done. We're done. Until the next rider comes around and Johnny says, no, I'm not giving this curse to anybody else. This is mine now. And it's a pretty cool owning it kind of a thing. Like, he made his bed, he's going to lie with it, and he has the out opportunity, but he's not going to give this to anybody else. He's not going to have anybody else. What's the term? I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemies, something like that. It's a cool growing story. It's a good character development. It's appropriate first, second, third act of the films. I liked the character development. I don't know if Eva Mendes is back as Roxanne in the second film, excuse me. I never saw the second film. I know Nicolas Cage is back as Johnny Blaze. So here we are. We're going to start the second one. Ghost Rider 2007. Wonderful, spooky Halloween film. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.